see that clip of Harrison Ford? He walked out some award show and they were playing the Indiana Jones theme song. He's like, that song follows me everywhere. It was playing when I went in for my colonoscopy. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about that song.
So, good morning. Anybody else have any thoughts about colonoscopies?
Yeah.
That's how we're gonna.
That's how we're starting today. You either like it or love it.
Thank you. May I have more? Hi guys. So I'm gonna be honest.
No,
I feel
let's not.
I feel a little bit like I ate and drank too much and rode on a scooter last night, and so it might take me a little bit to wake up, but I'm here.
We did do that.
And grateful.
What a better way to see a city, huh? I don't recommend it. And I also don't recommend trying to take a selfie video while riding said scooter and then making a sharp turn. Because if you ever try to ride those things, people, hey, don't ride those things, period. But
You have to post them.
if you happen to find yourself on one because you've lost a bet, which that's the only reason you should be on one, keep both hands on it.
Yeah.
I bailed.
What's the way? Y'all are here like the perfect way to take a selfie. Get your phone, get at eye level, put it a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower, put it on the table, and don't take a selfie. Shall we get some?
Let's take some questions.
That was a fast hand. Yeah.
It was me, right?
It was you.
Okay, all right.
It is now.
I got the microphone, it's not leaving. Okay, I have a question I've been wanting to ask for years.
Okay.
So everybody knows y'all have a huge entourage when you go out on location and shoot. So you have your makeup artist and your lighting and all that. Well, how much of an entourage did Baby get when she went out on location to shoot? Because she needed to look good, she needed her, to waxed and buffed and all of those good things.
She got Frank. That's it. There is we have and all productions have what's called a picture car wrangler.
Yeah.
And they are responsible for any picture cars. If there's more than one car, there's a few cars, usually they'll have maybe a few people helping out, moving the cars around, putting them in a position. But yeah, it's just our Frank was the guy who took care of Baby the most throughout the series. And he'd load it onto the trailer. He'd drive the trailer to
Have we ever
the
told the story
set.
about
When Baby decided to take him for a ride.
Have y'all heard the story ever?
So Frank was putting Baby back onto the truck, which was just around the side of the studio, and Baby didn't want to go into the trailer. She was like, "Not today, Frank.
Yeah.
That ravine looks fun. Let's go there."
So he was driving literally from the studio to a trailer, to a car hauler trailer,
Yeah.
and the accelerator stuck.
And so when an accelerator sticks on a 502 big block Chevy,
So
you go fast.
he jumps a curb and drives through a field, trying to slam on the brakes, trying to hit the pedal, but something happened in the carburetor, which is like flooding with fuel. Ends up in a ditch, and his collarbone breaks.
And the good news is like the shoulder strap worked and the airbag's deployed. Oh no, wait. No, there's none of that.
So we get a phone call about like, hey, the Impala just crashed. Like Frank just crashed the Impala. Like, what do you mean? It's like, well, there was an accident. We don't know what happened yet. And so
You and I ran over there.
Yeah, we went over, Cliffy and me and Ackles. And then I get there and he's already there with the ambulance. And he's sitting there and he's like, "Ah," and you can see his collarbone. And so I go, and when I see him, I'm like, "Frank, you all right, man?" He's like, "Yeah, just." And the paramedic is kind of like attending to him. And I'm like, you're good. I talk to the paramedic, and I'm like, okay, nothing long-standing, like, it just, like, that sucks. And the paramedic's like, yeah, he's fine, otherwise it's vital since then. And I go, okay, well, don't try and fix his face, it was already fucked up. Frank, sorry for the language. Frank starts laughing. He's like, and he's like, oh my gosh, that hurt so much to laugh, but that was worth it. So, yeah.
I feel like it was smooth. It was like, oh, Frank, your shoulder looks horrible. Don't worry about his face. It already looked like that. The paramedic is laughing. Yeah, but so luckily it was the majority of the damage was done to Frank's shoulder.
Yeah.
Baby took it on the chin like a champ. She was back up and running and doing fine like the next week. So
You can't mess that.
yeah, so that is baby's entourage is generally just one picture car person who in this. And Frank didn't quit. He kept with it.
And to be fair, we all got babies back. You know what I mean? Like Frank is there for baby, but we're all like, ain't no one messing with.
Yeah, everybody kind of keeps a nice little, gives a wide berth when they're dealing with the car. So she kind of commands respect when she gets on set.
Y'all had a lot of funny scenes. How were you able to keep a straight face, and what was the hardest that you laughed on a particular episode?
Well, in fairness, we weren't always able to keep a straight face.
It's the magic of editing.
There were many scenes that were ruined. My thoughts immediately go to Yellow Fever with the cat. Pretty much any Phil Sabrisha episode, because he'd be like, the more crazy you can make it, the more wacky, the more we can all laugh, the better.
There's sometimes you can, if you look closely, you can see just a little bit of break. And there's one scene in particular that comes to mind when Bella is driving off, and Dean turns to Sam and goes, "Son of a bitch!" You can see Jared break. Right? He just goes, and he looks away from the camera because, as an actor, that's what you do. If you're the camera and I'm breaking, I'm like, And they left that in there, and I every time I see that clip, I'm like, nah, that was Jared. I got him.
Over 15 years, we're bound to have some Jensen and Jared.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it just watch take your pick of any gag reel, and you'll see what really goes on when before the editors come into play.
Come fix it.
Yeah. Thanks.
So, speaking of yellow fever, when we were doing the viewing the other day, I came up with this question.
You're doing a viewing?
Yeah.
I know that.
So we know that ghosts don't do salt very well. Do you guys think that if Dean ate like a bunch of salty food or like gargled with salt water like you do when you're sick, it might have actually slowed down the symptoms any?
Why didn't you think of that? You have 15 years to just like pour salt all over yourself. Yeah.
It's a really good idea.
Season 16. That's
yeah. It's like yeah. I could do like the hunter version of like tarred and feathered, but you like just stick stuff and then just coat yourself in salt. It's like a hunter brine.
It would be wonderful because he's already so sweet.
Yeah.
Get some salt would be
Balances the flavor.
yeah. Thanks for the note. We'll do that season 16.
Yeah.
Hunter Brine.
Hunter brine. I don't know. It's early. Leave me alone.
You guys are obviously destined for greatness here, but in another life, in another world, if you guys were not actors, if you guys didn't do this, what would you guys be doing right now?
My mom is a retired teacher, and I think she would say that the best part of teaching is learning. And so I'm kind of fascinated by curiosity and by learning from wherever I am. And so I think I would love to be a teacher.
I'm a teacher.
Are you really? No way, what do you think?
I'm actually a substitute teacher newly, and I love it. So, yeah.
Down at Woods.
I work in a school.
Oh, no way. What's up, kiddo? Awesome. Yeah, so I feel like that would be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
I honestly don't know. I know that there were ideas of what I thought I might do when I was younger. Obviously, that was a long time ago.
Long.
All right. Okay. take it easy. But I will say, whatever it would be, it would probably have to be something that was continually evolving. I don't think I would do well in a kind of a static job, sitting in an office or doing a similar thing each day. That's one thing that I love about what I do is every day I get to do something completely different. Either a new set or working with a different actor or saying, the lines are always different. So I truly enjoy a creative process with people. And I've often said there's like two kinds of people in this industry. There are artists and there are craftsmen, and I kind of fashion myself more as a craftsman. And so whatever I would be doing if I wasn't doing this, it would be crafting something, I would hope.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Barry. And hell, honestly, like, if we weren't actors, we might just go ahead and go hunt some demons to help you.
Be actual hunters, yes. Yeah, that one, the red watch.
What?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, she does have a red. Son of a- What, is that a watch?
It's a COVID band, it's great, so you all have them.
Yeah, we got them.
All right.
You were the mask.
Was it easier for you guys to perform an emotional or intense scene together because you've been working together for so long and you know kind of how to like feed off each other's emotions and kind of play off each other? Or was it harder because you've been working for so long together and you could like mess each other up easily? And could you please give examples?
Depends on the scene. I will say that it was absolutely 100% for me easier to be vulnerable with somebody I trusted and had reason to trust over 15 years. And so, there were scenes, obviously, but oftentimes if there was an emotional scene, then we'd cut and we'd both shoot the shit and like laugh and tease and reset. Because if you enter a take or a scene and you're like for me, interesting scenes are where somebody goes from like being, seemingly perfectly happy to then breaking down or being funny. So if you enter a scene where you cry 3 pages into it and you're already like, well, so what happened today? And it's not like, who cares? And so we would do, it's like, this is weird, like a food tasting or a wine tasting, like you have like ginger ale or tonic water or something to reset your palate between tastings. And so for me at least, and I feel like for both of us to some degree, like we'd almost like reset each other's palate. And so for me, for sure, it's easier to act with somebody that has your back and will tell you like, hey, it was great. Don't forget that this line is a reference to that. Got it. And so like the best directors, the best actors and actresses you can work with, don't tell you how to do something. They just say like, hey, think about this. Like, got it. And so then you do it again, and it makes sense. So for me.
Yeah, completely agree. I think that because we have worked together for so long, that became an easier note to hit. Plus, he and I know what each other needs and what we respond to, what we require, kind of to get to a place of emotion. So even like off-camera work, I know where he's supposed to be, so I can even level it up a bit to give him something bigger to play off of, and he, vice versa. I will say that he and I learned that not only about each other, but about ourselves as well. Within these characters and within the show that lasted for so long, it gave us ample opportunity to be able to hone that skill, essentially. And I remember, I'll never forget, Heart was season 1, right?
Two. 217.
Was Heart? I thought that was 1, season 1.
I think it was 217.
Magical Google?
It was 2. Okay,
Just guessing.
early in the series, there was a show called Heart, where Sam loses somebody he truly cares about. And it was a very emotional day for Jared because he had to play the emotion of Sam losing somebody that he truly cared about. And I remember that Jared was, we were still young actors and still trying to figure out our skill set at that time. And he went into this, he opted for this tactic that some actors do, which is they think about something in their own life that truly makes them emotional. And I'll never forget, he thought about his dog Sadie dying. And then he opted to do this other tactic, which is staying in that for the duration of the filming. So when they yell cut, he goes and sits in a corner and just marinates in emotion. And I just was like, felt so horrible because he was a wreck for 6 hours, 7 hours, just emotionally, like I'm just watching this guy just being drained of emotion. And I think that was the last time you did that. You were like, I don't think I can do that again, or because it took a big toll on you. I saw it. Like you were emotionally distraught
For sure.
for the rest of that day.
Yeah.
And there's a famous line that Sir Laurence Olivier says to Dustin Hoffman in the movie Marathon Man, where Dustin, he's got to be
all night.
he's got to be out of breath, and so he runs around the block several times, and he comes back, and Sir Laurence Olivier is like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to get out of breath. And he's like, use acting, dear boy. It's called acting. Try it. And so I think after being in it as long as Jared was that day, I think I'll try acting next time.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that the emotion that he would tap into, or myself would tap into, wasn't real. I mean, those moments you're tricking your body to thinking that something is really emotional, and your body is reacting the way it would react if something was real. And it's wild that your brain can do that, but it has the capability of doing it. So.
Yeah, and you during Supernatural, Jensen and I both were able to kind of try out different methods. And we were like, hey, maybe this will work. Hey, maybe that will work. And commit to it and do it, and then go like, well, that worked, but I don't think I need that. I think I can kind of find the Goldilocks principle. Of okay, I don't have to listen to the saddest songs and stories I've ever heard to get sad. I can just kind of think about what Sam would be going through. Or I don't need to.
That's another thing too, is we got to know these characters so well, and we cared about them so deeply that we would get emotional just knowing that these characters are going through this. Thanks for that.
Red shirt right here.
Hi, I'm from Cincinnati, and
Cincy.
and I've been on.
OH. There's a great feeling. So sorry. There's a great feeling. So my buddy from Cleveland just got married, and I pulled him OH, and everybody from Cleveland was like, oh. But it's the same feeling as when you're a kid and a 18-wheeler drives by, and you go like this, and you're like, yeah, I did it. Sorry.
Wait, rewind. What was that? Put me in.
When you're a kid and there's
No, I know that. I'm talking about what just happened with Ohioans.
Ohioans.
You just say OH.
It works.
Do it again. OH. Stop it. Do they teach you this in grade school? What is this?
Yes.
Is this like an Aussie? That's what this is, isn't it? I didn't know we had that. Well, you have it. I don't.
They have
T.
They have that.
Texas. Ding. That's what they teach us. Well, that's cool. Sorry.
So, I'm from Cincinnati, and I've actually worked with a couple of. I've worked on a couple of film productions that have gone through LA Productions.
Yep.
And I'm sure that you've had some memorable crew members over the years, and I'm just curious on one or two that have stuck to you throughout the years.
Wow.
What department?
Sound.
Sound?
No way.
Sound assist.
Yeah. Chris Glenn Jones.
Chris Glenn Jones, Don Pencho, even going back to KB.
Christian Bailey. Yeah, KB.
Like that's, like we spent so much time with our crew, and a lot of them stuck with us for a long time, if not the whole time. So we really got to know a crew like family.
Yeah, Robin and Kelly. We have a text thread with probably a dozen or a dozen and a half members, like Brad Creaser, like our camera ops. And so I think a big deal, and Ackles and I have talked about this many times, we appear like the iceberg above the surface of the water. But there's so much underneath that goes into it, even from the moment it's written. 2 months, 3 months before we ever see the script. So we get to kind of go like, hey, look at us, we're ice. But he and I know deeply, having done 400 episodes of television or whatever we've done, that things
Television, not just Supernatural.
Come on, television, counting all the other shows we've done. But we, I feel like we stand here today not as Jared and Jensen who created Supernatural, but as just a little bit of ice above the water that you can see from a distance, that you can see on television.
Who I still call LD,
LD,
which
yeah.
stands for Large Dave. Because when he worked, and this is no joke, it's not because of something that came to Supernatural, on the X-Files, there was Dave, and then there was a smaller man named Dave. And so Kim Manners just nicknamed him Large Dave, started calling him LD. That nickname is now stuck with him.
Stuck for decades.
So yeah, there's a lot of crew that I still talk to today. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I've seen people walk in.
Giving us the guys, you talk too much. That's what that, we do. Well, listen, thanks for being here, you guys. Thanks for spending your Sunday with us. Jared promises to entertain you for the rest of the day. I'm going to go take a nap. See you.
OH.
Let's give it up for Jared and Jensen!
So walk me through it.
We went on a little ride last night.
Yeah.
On scooters.
Yeah.
And it was
Also
fun.
windswept hair.
And so we thought we would ride
else do you get
here.
windswept hair?
I guess his scooter, which I assume is out there.
What?
I guess his scooter knew that he was riding around the hotel. So it just shut down.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't ride scooters to doors.
Let's hear something in the law here.
No, I don't do that.
You're a rule follower.
Yeah. I got 2 feet. I use them.
So I was able to roll in.
Yeah, you did it quite well.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is how it went. Back in the theater.
Jared and I are there, we're ready, we're like, this is gonna be great, this is gonna be awesome. The doors open, Jared takes off, I go,
And I was like, save yourself, I'm going.
I may have heard somebody go, we got it working, I'm like,
I'd love to have seen the dejected walk of you.
oh yeah, no, it was like, if you listen closely, you could hear the Charlie Brown song.
Totally. You going,
You taste the tears.
That was,
Of sadness.
Meanwhile, you're racking up one hell of a bird bill right now. Which
I know,
still on the clock.
well, dude, I was like, hey, I promise.
but yeah, somebody
I
might
don't have the
want
bird
to
app.
shut that off.
You gotta take a picture too that you parked it.
On stage.
You made an email from Bird. That appears like you're inside of a hotel.
I was gonna say, we actually had these on the elevator a minute ago, and I'm like, somebody at headquarters is going, these are traveling vertically. Somebody, can we, yeah, Unit 24,
Mine kept working, so I don't know what you did.
Alright, well enjoy. Jensen is here.
so when you get to be my age, sometimes the equipment fails. That's, it's just, thank you.
But
Happy to be here.
he's a few years older, so my equipment is still in tip-top shape. My equipment failed.
That was a joke.
Well, I was lying.
It's better when you explain it, though, Jared. It's better when you explain that.
It's funnier in a Nokia. Hey, holy moly, a lot of people. Any people first time? Nobody? Welcome, guys, gals. Mr. Jensen Ackles.
Hey! Mr. Jared Padalecki.
We decided for this con that he would show up with Sam hair and I would do Dean hair. So I hope you all forget. I can't do. He's got these like dragon eyelashes, so I'm doing this number like. You're like, what are you doing?
Do dragons have eyelashes?
Don't pretend you don't.
Dragon eyelashes and crocodile tears. That's.
All tears because you broke your scooter.
Yeah, Bird's gonna get a strongly worded letter later today. You embarrassed me in front of all of my friends.
We're going to start and see if we have some fun questions. I'm going to start on my side since I kind of made a pretty cool entrance. So I get the vote.
Yeah, man, that's all you got. Yeah. I'll just be here.
From the side that had the scooter entrance. How are you? Good talk. Okay, other side. Teasing. Hey, how are you?
Oh, shit.
Hey, do you mind not using fucking curse words?
Can you ask me nicely?
Please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I'm a diabetic.
Teasing.
Having a hypoglycemic emergency, so I'm like trying not to drop dead.
Somebody bring us Snickers.
No, I'm good. Anyways, I wanted to ask you guys, now that the show's over and you guys, you aren't acting in the roles of Sam and Dean anymore, do you find yourself doing mannerisms or having the thoughts that Sam and Dean would have had? Like, if you're in situations, like you wake up and you're super cold and you're like, oh shit, there's a ghost. Or like lights start flickering, or you read a weird piece in the news and you're like, oh crap, we gotta start hauling ass down there? Like, do you guys have thoughts about that?
First and foremost.
So you're asking if we actually think that we are Sandy Dean?
Yes.
We
Just
actually
briefly.
are. Sandy. I would be lying if I said it never occurred to me that when it's cold inside or a light flickers, I'm not like, I'm on it. Even I stayed at the Driscoll Hotel, and so we're sitting there, and the light flickers behind me, and I was like, all right, if you're in here, you know who I am. I was like, I'm chill, man. I'm cool, I'm chill. Like, just looking to have a good night with my wife, you know, like, must be cool. Yeah, but I know some secrets. I know some shortcuts. Jensen.
Well, to just kind of answer the question, no, I don't necessarily read articles and go, "Oh, I better suit up. Where's baby?" Although I could. But I was just touching on what Jared said. So I'm currently in New Orleans getting ready to shoot a new show. And we got a Airbnb or VRBO, I don't know. I didn't figure it out, and it's beautiful. They obviously put it through some renovations and stuff, but it's at the top. There's a third story, and it's big long staircases all the way to the top, and they have like this kind of office, room up there, and so I had to do a Zoom call the other day. This was just last week, and it has a pitched roof. Roof. It has a pitched roof, and so there's these little like closet doors that are right under the pitched ceiling. Well, they're behind me, and I'm having a Zoom meeting, and I just hear this. And then I didn't see anything. Look around, nothing. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, and then I just kind of kept like looking over my shoulder, and sure enough, this little door slowly, like, and as soon as I look, so now I think, oh, one of my kids is up here. They're messing with me. So I walk over there, open it up, nada. Nothing in there but some, cleaning supplies. I close the door, walk away. It's open. Just that, that much. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, really? Are we doing this? So I turn my camera off on the Zoom to go investigate this little occurrence, right? I go back to the Zoom and I'm like, guys, check this out. I move my camera over, like, just wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Don't do this to me. Don't do this. And right, it opens like 4 inches. And it closes. And I'm like, and so I'm like, cool, right? Ghosts. Thanks. And I sat back down and I finished my Zoom, and people on the other side of the Zoom were like, that was a joke, right? I'm like, nope. You're not freaking out and running downstairs? Aren't you scared? Why not? You have 15 years of experience under my belt. Why would I be scared of something like that? Literally caught it on camera.
So we got it. Y'all got it.
Yeah, so we're good.
We've all done our research. Y'all, we're all like made men and women. Go take a listen to us.
And okay, you might be right. I might have just, as soon as it closed, I went, Jimmy, so good! It was an inside voice.
He also, when he got the computer and was showing it, he goes, son of a bitch!
I did, yeah. Yeah, there was some expletives. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. What has been your favorite birthday celebration that you've had for your life?
Oh, geez. So I guess I'll start. I have a big birthday coming up in 3 months. Jesus. Yeah. And so my wife, I'm turning 40 in July. So Jen is like, hey, listen, I'm gonna do something like fun. Like, I don't want to tell you all about it, but what do you want for your birthday? And I went, anything? And she's like, anything. And I go, I love a nap. That's it, a nap. But
That's a tall ask.
it is a tall ask of 3 kids, as you know. But I feel like Atlas is probably the same. Like, I love other people's birthdays. I love celebrating other people. My birthdays are always really uncomfortable. Like, I'm sort of like, why is everybody looking at me? So I feel like some of my best birthday parties. Some of my best birthday parties have been like my kids' birthday parties and them, you know, just being without responsibilities and attachments. So I don't know if I have an answer to that. My 30th was fun in Austin. Got a little like riverboat kind of thing down Lake Austin.
You got a big one coming up. I bet you're gonna remember that one because I speaking of, my 40th was quite the celebration.
I was there.
I know. It was I don't think I've ever had a surprise birthday party, and Danielle went kind of above and beyond. She gave me 2. One at home with all of our friends and family in Texas, and this was the one that really got me. Another one in Vancouver with my family up there, the Supernatural crew and cast, and people like flew in for it. Some of these guys remember that. And she put together, with the help of some of the people in production, they put together a whole video of everybody saying their
And singing a song.
they sang a song. You guys remember that song? Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Who sings that?
Alphaville, you're right.
Yeah. And so now that song is like, that will forever be that associated with that. But Cliff and Jared and a couple of the other folks up there, they took me out for a birthday dinner at one of our favorite spots up there. And then they were like, oh, and then we're gonna go, what was it? I think we went to dinner, and then we were like going somewhere to meet. Yeah, we're gonna go like have a drink or something, meet some of the other crew at a place. And I walked in, and it was this huge bar, and it was like everyone that had been a part of the show for the past like 12 years was there, and
it was completely rinsed out.
The whole place was, and it was very emotional, and it was very cool. And I remember one thing that was requested. I forget whose idea it was, but it was no cell phones. So everybody was just engaged in conversation, and nobody was like taking pictures or, hey, can you do this, or on their phone. Phones were down, and everybody was just present. And I thought that was really a beautiful thing to be a part of this. You know, I'll never forget it.
Yeah. What do the world's fastest marathon runners eat before the marathon? Nothing. They fast.
best thing about Jared telling a joke is that no one laughs harder than Jared at his jokes.
They're so good.
Some jokes he can't even get through.
Oh!
Here we go. Buckle up.
So you know, in Austin we have lakes, and it's the Colorado River, what we call the lakes. So I can row a boat. Canoe? Okay, I have better ones. Yeah, no big deal.
Please, one more.
This guy walks into a butcher shop and says, I'd like one pound of beef jerky and one steak and kidney pie. And the butcher's like, I beg your pardon, you just said, you said kidney. And the guy says, no, I didn't. That was good. Come on, guys.
Like, I feel like...
Come on, guys.
I feel like it shaves years off of my life.
I'll shave years off your life.
I'm mentally Will Smithing him right now. Too soon? No? Good.
Where are we? We're over here.
Continue.
What's your most elaborate prank that you've ever pulled?
We didn't, you know what's funny is that we kind of became known as pranksters, but we weren't pranksters so much as we were, like on Supernatural, we would do 5-day weeks. We would often fly to cities like Indianapolis and stuff from here, but Jacksonville or Toronto or New York or Chicago or Dallas or wherever. And so I think it took many seasons, but we were like, well, this is life. We're not seeing our family on the weekends. We're going back and we're working from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. literally. And so like let's laugh when we can. And so it was more about making the crew around us laugh and making our fellow cast members laugh. I think one of the best moments, I don't remember the exact moment, but I feel like for Jensen and me, one of the best moments was when like one of the crew members would openly make fun of us. And we're like, that's great, because we're just humans also. We happen to be in front of the camera, not behind the camera, or not holding a boom, or not setting up. Like, yes, make fun of us. Like, let's all we don't take ourselves seriously. We're not like, hey, I'm cool shit. Like, it's like, no, like, tease me. Like, let's all tease each other.
We had 2 cameras at all time on the show. We had A camera, we had B camera. And with each camera comes at least a crew of 4. So you have your operator, you have your focus puller, you have your dolly grip, and you have your second camera assistant, which would be the person loading the cameras and changing the lenses and marking it with the slate and stuff like that. So there are generally 4 people responsible for each camera. Our B camera was they were the jokesters a little looser than our A camera, generally speaking. And there were multiple times where, well, like for one, it was opening up a door to a basement that, Dean was on the hunt. So open up the door and the stair goes down, and at the bottom of the stairs was Rosie, our B camera operator, on a handheld, looking up at me, and next to him was Dean, a focus puller, and next to him was Gilmore, the dolly grip, and then Pete Hunter, the second assistant. And I opened the door the first time, and they're all down there, and you know, I kind of shine my flashlight, and then I start to walk down the stairs. That's a cut. I think the second or third time I opened the door, I opened it, and they were all in their underwear. and Rosie had a ball gag around his head. This is the camera operator. The camera on his head, and he's just like.
This just became a meme.
Yeah, but because that's just our set, that's what we do, I just literally went, opened the door, saw them, was like, and that was one of many. So we would cut up on set and in front of the camera, but our crew was also, they felt so comfortable that they could like do stuff like that, and we just loved it. We loved that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sue.
Hi! Well, you guys know you guys are so awesome.
I know.
You're so cute. And I'm like, no,
She screamed. It's getting better. It's getting better. You're cute too. What's your name?
Christina.
Ruthina?
I saw you yesterday and took a picture with you.
Wait, what? I just said, wait, what? That's an Wait, Ruthina,
You said you took a picture yesterday with us?
We did an autograph yesterday. You took pictures together today.
yeah. Oh, you smell so good. Anyways, I digress. Hi, Ruthina. Good to see you again.
Me too. So, what is your favorite?
What?
What is your favorite stunt?
Oh, great question. Thank you.
Stud?
Stud? Stud. He's my favorite stud.
Nuts?
My favorite stunt, I wonder if it's the same for you, stop it. My favorite stunt, or I mean, how do you gauge it really after 327 episodes? But I think the one that comes to mind is when he and I think Heaven and Hell, like episode 10 of season 4, jumped through the church window.
I'm here with my friend Devin. We're both really big fans of your horror movies, like House of
Wait.
Wax, Friday the 13th.
Horror movies, oh yeah.
Yeah, My Bloody Valentine, House of Wax, Friday the 13th, yours. Is there any...
New York Minute.
Was there any, like, I know it was filmed during Supernatural's run, so were there any, like, type of, like, on-set antics you brought to those sets, or just memorable moments in general from those movies?
Oh, wow. House of Wax was during Gilmore Girls. Or as we all refer to it.
No, nobody does.
OG Dean.
No.
Or like, you know, Dean the First. Don't make me do it. Man, we did burn a studio down in Australia during House of Wax. He had some crazy experiences on My Bloody.
I mean, it was,
Real quick, Something just occurred to me, I'm sorry. So my craziest, my Bloody Valentine experience was, we're in Vancouver and Kerr and Ackles and I like have one of the days off, and there's a theater in Vancouver that has the 3D glasses, and they're like, well, we're the, I think maybe I was like, y'all are stars of the movie. We can't walk in and like sit in the theater before the movie starts because people will be like, what the hell? And so they're like, yeah, good idea. And so maybe like 60 seconds into the movie, we get our glasses and we walk in the theater. We're in like row 3, and it's dark. It looks like this. And I was laughing because it's the 3D goggles or whatever, the glasses. And I was thinking that people behind us and in front of us must have been like looking at them in the theater, actually, and then on camera being like, dude, these glasses are amazing. Because people were looking and they were like, holy shit. It's like Jensen is actually here because he was actually there. Like he was actually there, and I was looking around like,
Yeah, it kind of looked like this. We're watching the screen, turn around. We're watching the screen, and we're in like the 3rd row, and the person behind me is like, 3D, this is so cool, man. This is gonna be great, this is gonna be 3D. And then with glasses on, I just turn around and go, 4D, bitch.
This is amazing.
I didn't do that.
He did. Thank you so much.